Are hardcore Nuzlocks really that hard? Well, yeah, clearly. Even pro Nuzlockers like Pokemon Challenges have taken multiple attempts to beat some of the hardest Pokemon fan games. I've never taken on a challenge that difficult before, but maybe someday I'll be able to with a little bit of practice. But what am I getting at here? I've already answered the question that you had upon clicking on this video. Well, I wanted to test myself and see how hard a hardcore Nuzlocke actually was. And I figured the best way to do it was with the most famous team on my channel: Venusaur, Nidoking, Dodrio, Hitmonlee, Jinx, and Snorlax. Now, I already know what you're typing up. You've already done this video idea. You're correct. I have. However, I felt that variation of the hardcore Nuzlocke I did using my team was way too easy. For one, I genned in all the Pokemon at the beginning of the game, meaning there was no real challenge. And two, even with all the Pokemon at the beginning of the game, I still lost the run against Bruno. So I decided to try this challenge again, only this time I kick it up a notch. This time, we captured the Pokemon in their respective spots, and I won't have a Snorlax by the time we get to the second gym. I'm also just not proud of how that video turned out, and I know I can do much better than that. So today, that's exactly what I'm gonna do. The best team for Kanto versus the hardcore Nuzlocke. Round 2 begins. Anywho though, before we begin, I will cover the hardcore Nuzlocke rules, as well as some specific ones I will be doing myself. For typical Nuzlocke rules, Pokemon are dead if they're fainted, only one Pokemon per route, etc. This is a unique case, however, in which I have a set team I'm going to capture, so no random encounters apply here. So we're gonna do this instead. If I fail to capture a certain Pokemon for my team, I can no longer get it. So if Snorlax decides to be cheeky, I don't get that bulky goodness. For hardcore Nuzlocke rules, I'm just going to follow the basic 3, no special rules included. 1. You cannot use items in battle, however, held items are allowed. 2. The battle style has to be changed to set. 3. You cannot level past a gym leader's ace. So, for example, in the case of Misty, I am not allowed to have Ivysaur learn Razor Leaf at level 22. If I do, I'm pretty sure the run is considered null and void. So that's pretty much it. With that though, Mystic reads, and let's get going. So the first part was a cakewalk. I did the tutorial and beat Butt, our rival. For Viridian Forest, I had to be a little careful not to battle too many trainers, because if I did, Bulbasaur would get too strong for Brock. So I simply grinded Bulbasaur to level 10 in the grass, and skipped pretty much every trainer besides the mandatory one at the end. Once in Pewter, I headed to the gym, smacked the gym trainer, and proceeded to clap Brock. Quad weak to grass, easy peasy. After I beat Brock, I headed over to the next route, defeating all the mandatory trainers. There was one trainer who had a Jigglypuff though, and I made sure to put it to sleep so it couldn't cause any shenanigans. Once she was defeated, I went and captured Barney, the Nidoran male, with little to no trouble at all, and then grinded it up to level 16, and then proceeded to head into Mount Moon. The first trainer battle in there was a little rocky, but I made it through. I got the Moonstone in the top left corner of the map and immediately evolved my Nidorino into a Nidoking. Mount Moon went relatively smooth, and I was even able to get past the fossil guy at the end by using a combo of Sleep Powder and Leech Seed. Outside of Mount Moon, I taught Nidoking Mega Punch, just in case of an emergency, considering it also doesn't get Thrash until level 22, one level above Misty's ace. Once I got the Cerulean, I knew I didn't really want to grind any more levels, but I did grind up Nidoking a bit more for security. After taking on one trainer in the gym, it was time for Misty. Staryu started off the battle pretty hot, going for a Water Pulse, and unfortunately, it got off the confusion that sometimes comes with it. However, Bulbs got lucky, and was able to pull through with a Vine Whip, proccing her healing item. And then, I took out Staryu with another Vine Whip, giving me a 1-0 lead. Then came Starmie, and this thing is a monster. Starmie is equipped with Swift for grass types, and it did some decent chip damage for a physical normal attack. Sleep Powder doesn't have the greatest accuracy, and it missed the first time. I did eventually get it to sleep, but then it woke up again pretty quick, and before I knew it, I'm pretty sure a crit would have killed Bulbs. Fortunately though, Bulbs pulled through and was knocked down to red, resulting in a powerful Overgrow Vine Whip that clutched my victory. My reaction was pretty good. Oh my god, that was close. Dude, oh god. That was so close. I'm already like sweating. Like this is gonna be hard. Once Misty was defeated, I headed over to Nugget Bridge, and we once again ran into Butt. I let off with Ivysaur on mistake, forgetting he leads with Pidgeotto. I switched out though, and Barney proceeds to get rid of it. With the Abra out, and it only having access to teleport, that means a free switch. Abra goes down with ease, and now I can set up Sleep Powder and Leech Seed for Charmander. Why? Well, I gotta make sure I balance out leveling for Surge. You'll see why in a bit. Having only 2 Mons to take the experience is a little tougher. Charmander goes down though eventually, and then I swap into Barney to take care of the soon dead Rattata. After Butt gives us the crappiest item in the game, I head towards Nugget Bridge battling all the trainers, making sure I maintain good level balance, as like I said earlier, I can't exceed level 24. All the Nugget Bridge battles are mandatory, so I had to do all those. After the bridge, I did the best I could to avoid any unnecessary trainer battles heading to Bill. Oh, and after I beat Butt, I taught Nidoking Water Pulse and Rock Tomb for more coverage. Once I got the SSN ticket, I taught that Team Rocket Burglar a lesson and got the Dig TM, also teaching it to Barney the Nidoking. I then proceeded to Vermilion, once again skipping all the unnecessary trainer battles. Next, I hopped on the boat, skipped all the trainers, and once again, we are interrupted by Butt. At this point, I'm panicking, because I do not want to hit that level 24 cap. As usual, he leads off with Pidgeotto, but luckily, this time I had Nidoking up front. I took it down with some Rock Tombs. Next, out came Kadabra, and it went down with the Dig. His Alakazam might give me some trouble later on. Next, he sent out Raticate, and rest in peace. Literally. Last, he sends out Charmeleon, and I repeat my usual strat of Sleep Powder and Leech Seed. I could have swapped out for Nidoking sooner, but regardless, Charmeleon went down. And with that, I helped the old man, and now we got cut. Here, I ran into a bit of an issue, because I wanted an HM slave, and I didn't want to sacrifice any move slots for my 2 team members. Now, of course, I can go and capture other Pokemon on other routes, because it is for HM purposes, and I'm gonna give myself a little bit of a handicap. However, I was on the cusp of hitting level 24, and even a few trainer battles could have ruined my run. So I had to be particular with which Pokemon I caught. With no trainers inside, I head in the Diglett cave, and I had pretty good luck running into a Diglett. A high-level Dug trio with Arena Trap could have been a major issue. From there, I made the Diglett purposely faint, that way I couldn't use it in battle. Once I taught Diglett Cut, it was time to head into Surge's gym. I had to be very careful, so I avoided the first trainer as best as I could. I went out of the gym quite a few times actually, in order to reset the puzzle so the locks would spawn in the front row of trash cans. For a while, I did alright, but eventually that trainer got me and we had a battle. The whole time, I'm praying to Arceus that I don't exceed level 24. As far as I know, as long as I am at the gym leader's ace or lower, I am fine. It's only if a Mon exceeds the Ace's level. Hence, if I hit level 25, then the run would have been over. There was one more mandatory trainer, and by the skin of my teeth, I barely got the Surge with both of my Pokemon at 24 on the dot. I let off with Bulbs because I didn't want Nidoking to get the 25 in the middle of the battle, as of course I needed Nidoking more. Sonic Boom from his Voltorb did give me a bit of a scare, but I pulled through, taking out his Pikachu as well shortly after. It set up a double team, and I didn't think I'd hit it, but it did. Thank God. After was his ace Raichu. I swapped out to Barney, and Raichu got hit with Poison Point. And as Nidoking went underground for Dig, he used the full heal, which I found pretty hilarious. Dig pretty much one-shotted it though, giving me my 3rd gym victory. After defeating Lieutenant Surge, it was time to go to Rock Tunnel. Now, I'm not good at Rock Tunnel at all. Even after playing all these years, I still need Flash. So I gave myself a handicap and I caught myself up to 10 Pokemon. These Pokemon were all safely boxed when it was all said and done, obviously, and I picked up my Flash HM. As usual, on the route towards Rock Tunnel, I kept my trainer battling to a minimum, only battling the few mandatory ones in between. Rock Tunnel was the same procedure, battling all the mandatory ones. There was a Slowpoke trainer that did almost take out poor Bulbs though. Considering Rock Tunnel is mainly hikers, it was a breeze, and I got through Rock Tunnel with little to no issue while still maintaining the levels needed for Erica, being level 29 for both her aces. Once I got out of Rock Tunnel, I healed up in Lavender Town and proceeded to go left. There was one mandatory trainer though, and then I snuck past the rest of them. Now it was time to capture the third team member, Doduo. I trained Doduo up to level 25, then I battled a few of the trainers in the gym, taking care of them all pretty easily, leaving Erica for last. Before battling Erica, I did a little more prep. I picked up a Lumberry, attached it to Doduo, and I picked up the Fly HM, which does have more power than Aerial Ace, which also I picked up earlier. I was feeling pretty confident that this gym battle was gonna be pretty easy. So with that, I challenged Erica. She opened up with one of her aces being Victory Bell, while I opened with DAL, the Doduo. I lead off with the Fly, getting some pretty decent damage off while she uses Stun Spore. My Lumberry kicks in, heals the paralysis, and then I finish off Victory Bell with another Fly. Fly could have missed, so I should have gone for Aerial Ace. But you know what? I got lucky. Next, she goes into her Tangela. I go for Fly once again, getting her down to around red. Then lands a poison powder off on me, and then I take some poison damage. She heals up with the Hyper Potion, I go for Fly again. Tangela gets down to red once again, and then she proceeds to go for Ingrain, sucking more of my HP away. I am at around 40 hit points at this point in time, and I am able to knock out Tangela. She then goes into Vileplume, her final ace. After taking a tad more poison damage, DAL is down to 32 HP. At this point, I'm contemplating on what to do next. But I made the decision to send out Barney to do as much damage as possible. After a few digs, she winds up paralyzing it, and he gets down to around yellowish health. The play I made next was swapping out to Bulbs to see if I could just Sleep Powder and Razor Leaf it to death. It went according to plan for a bit. But then I was backed into a corner. Bulbs was in killing range, and that's exactly what happened after another acid attack. If I would have swapped out to Barney, there was a chance a paralysis would have kicked in. Giga Drain would have finished him off, and that was a risk I didn't want to take. There was also no way Dodo Airlines could have taken an acid and then poison damage, so I had to sacrifice off Bulbs. DAL then comes in for the victory against Erica, although we have now lost a key member to the team in terms of stalling. After having this battle against Erica, I realized there were 2 cherry berries I could have picked up to perhaps help out with this, but I'm really not too sure if they could have made a difference or not. After the loss of our beloved starter, it was time to move on to our 4th member, Hitmonlee. In order to get Hitmonlee, I had to make my way through the karate dojo, and I'll just say, it was pretty scary, despite having the type advantage with Doduo. The first couple of them weren't so bad, but then I saw that the last 2 trainers had Pokemon in the mid-30s, and realized I should probably evolve Doduo first, and that's exactly what I did. I went into the Rocket Game Corner as I grinded against a few of the grunts, leveling up both my teammates a bit, and I also snagged the Lift Key while I was at it. Once I had Dodrio, I went up against the Karate Master. It definitely was a close experience, as Hitmonchan did some rather nasty damage with Ice Punch, even though it was a special attack. It even froze Nidoking. I did in the end, however, get lucky, and I winded up snagging Hitmonlee. From there, I grinded up Hitmonlee on the trainers I avoided on the left side of Lavender Town. When I was 29, I went to battle Giovanni. I led off with Nidoking, taking out both his rock ground types using Water Pulse. I then almost lost Hitmonlee when Mama Kanga went for Mega Punch, but I got super lucky. She missed. From there, I decided because she outsped Hitmonlee, and I feared it would have definitely been taken out, I would switch out to Dodrio to take 1 hit and to finish it off with a tri-attack. The plan actually worked, but instead of Dodrio taking a hit, Kango went for a Tail Whip instead. Don't you just love the AI? After taking out Giovanni, I headed towards the Pokemon Tower. Before going in for the rival battle though, I headed into Rock Tunnel to teach Hitmonlee Rock Slide for easier grinding in the tower. And it might come in handy for Blue's Charizard later on. I also swapped out Rock Tomb for Shockwave for Blue's Gyarados. Due to the level difference, I beat Blue pretty easily, and I was able to move forward with the Pokemon Tower. I grinded up Hitmonlee as planned, and also took care of the Team Rocket members while grabbing the Pokeflute from Mr. Fuji. Now, due to there being 2 Snorlax and me feeling unprepared to capture it, I decided to take the one out south of Lavender Town to gain access to the Super Rod, so I could obtain our 5th member, Jinx. After grinding a few trainers to get the rod, I went to Route 6, captured a level 29 Poliwhirl, and traded the NPC in Cerulean City for Zinx the Jinx. With Jinx in hand, I grabbed the Psychic TM for Mr. Psychic in Saffron City, and then decided to grind on all the trainers south of Lavender Town, heading towards Fuchsia so I could get more prepared to capture Snorlax. Snorlax is semi-difficult to catch, and I knew making even the slightest mistake could ruin the rest of my run, so I needed to tread carefully. Once I grinded on all those trainers, plus a few on Cycling Road, my team was around level 37 to 39-ish. Now I felt comfortable enough to attempt to capture Snorlax. I bought some Ultra Balls from Fuchsia City's Pokemart, and I set off to Celadon City's Cycling Road entrance. Going into this, I was pretty nervous, because if I didn't capture it, this run was going to be pretty rocky, considering the fact that Snorlax was going to be a very key member for my team. It's got solid bulk, a decent move pool, and it also has access to the move Rest, which might save my ass in the late game if I decide to keep it. Starting off the battle, I attempted to put Snorlax to sleep with Lovely Kiss from Jinx. It unfortunately missed 3 times in a row, and had that headbutt would have crit, Jinx would have been a goner. I swapped out to Nidoking and landed a few digs on it. Not to mention, it also put poor Barney to sleep a few times. After a repeat of some digs, rests, and yawns, Snorlax was down to yellow. After a few attempts, Snorlax was successfully captured, and I was very happy and relieved. After capturing Majin Buu the Snorlax, I grinded her to level 38 on a Bird Keeper that gives pretty good experience. Once the grinding session was over, I went to Koga's gym, took out all of his trainers pretty easily, and swept him no problem with Jinx. Once I was done with Koga, I headed to the Celadon Game Corner to get my hands on the Shadow Ball TM for Snorlax, and then I used the remainder of my money to buy lemonades. I was feeling pretty well equipped for Silphco and Sabrina, so I headed over there. I then grinded up on some of the trainers in Silph, getting my team up to around level 40. Before Sabrina though, there was one big obstacle the team and I had to climb over. A big butt. This dude was ready. I decided to lead off with Nidoking, considering it had the most coverage of the entire team. He led off with Pidgeot, which I was able to take out with Shockwave. Execute was next, and I figured getting Snorlax out now was going to be my best bet. Upon switching out, Execute went for the Stun Spore. Snorlax is able to break through though, and take it out with a Shadow Ball and a Body Slam. Alakazam was up third. Consider this a warm-up for Sabrina. But attempted to set up a Calm Mind, but Snorlax shot off that beautiful physical Shadow Ball, OHKOing it beautifully. Gyarados then came out with the Intimidate drop. I knew I had to switch out considering all my moves were physical, so I swapped out to good old Johnny Lawrence, aka the Cobra Kai Master. Johnny got hit with the Dragon Rage, but then delivered back with the Rock Slide, ending the Sea Serpent's run. Finally, it was down to the last Mon, Charizard. I contemplated on what to do next, knowing full well Charizard has 100 base speed. I swapped out the Snorlax, eating up a Wing Attack and a Flamethrower, the Spicy Wing combo. I got down to around 50 HP, and I was praying that the Parahacks wouldn't kick in. Luckily, they didn't, and Majin Buu was able to rest up. Charizard wasn't going down easy though, as it started spamming Smokescreen, lowering my accuracy. I was able to land a Snore though. I proceed to then go for another Snore, but unfortunately, it misses. And then he follows up with another Flamethrower. Even after another Smokescreen, Snorlax was still able to land another Body Slam, putting Charizard into red range. I had him now. Or so I thought. After getting hit with another Flamethrower, it did 72 damage. This meant a Flamethrower could KO Snorlax at this point. This meant the max damage for Flamethrower was a tad higher than I thought. I thought Snorlax was going to have around 80 HP left after being hit with 1. Meaning, I believed I could have lived 1 more if the body slammed missed, and then I could go for another rest at around 20 to 30 HP, getting Snorlax's HP back up to full. Unfortunately though, that's not what happened, as you can see. So, with this knowledge now in mind, I had to take a gamble, because I knew without Snorlax, this run was probably going to be impossible to beat. I took a few moments to think about what I wanted to do, knowing that any Pokemon I swapped out couldn't outspeed Charizard aside from Dodrio. Out of all the Pokemon on my team that I could live without, Dodrio was the one I felt comfortable losing if it came down to it. If it could live a Flamethrower, we would win the battle and be on our merry way to Giovanni and Sabrina. However, if it couldn't, it was going to be sacrificed. Lo and behold, poor DAL unfortunately got taken out by a critical hit Flamethrower, ending our bird's life. Once DAL was taken out, I swapped out to Nidoking, which definitely made me a tad salty. Turns out, it had a hasty nature. Natures didn't really cross my mind, but I guess when you do challenges like this, you kind of have to take that into consideration sometimes. Anywho, Nidoking outspeeds Charizard, winning me the battle. From there, Giovanni was easy. Jinx pretty much mopped the floor with him, and Snorlax took out Kanga with a few body slams. I then healed up and went to Sabrina's gym. Snorlax, already having Alakazam practice, wiped out her entire team with little to no effort at all, winning us our 6th badge. Once I beat Sabrina, I actually checked to see if the crit mattered against Dodrio. It did. According to a Pokemon Trainer's datasheet for Gen 3, Blue's Charizard itself has 99 special attack. DAL had 54 special defense, meaning the Flamethrower would have only done 70 to 84%. So, had it not been for that unfortunate crit, Dal would still be here. Rest in peace, my friend. After mourning the death of our feathered friend, I hopped on Nidoking and we headed south of Fuchsia, grinding on all the trainers to the Seafoam Islands. Once I cleared them out, I surfed south the palette and repeated the process. With all the grinding, Nidoking got to level 45, Hitmonlee 44, and Jinx got to 42. Then I went into the Pokemon Mansion and got the key to open the gym. In there, I leveled up Hitmonlee to level 45. In Blaine's gym, I grinded on all the trainers, helping Snorlax level up a bit as well. I then challenged Blaine. The first 2 Growlithe got OHKO'd by Surf, no problem. Rapidash got down to red, but then fired a Fire Blast, resulting in Nidoking taking 55 damage. He then potions up a few times until eventually Surf kills. His last Pokemon Arcanine caused me to switch out the Snorlax. Arcanine used Fire Blast, causing Snorlax to take 74 damage. I then go for another rest to get my HP back, prepping for a Snore to do some chip damage. Fire Blast missed, thank goodness, and I'm able to get off 1 Snore, doing a little chip damage to Arcanine's health. The next Fire Blast hits, and does about the same damage as the first one that hit. I go for another rest, hoping Snorlax wakes up, but it doesn't. And another Fire Blast hits, only this time taking me down to yellow. I was hoping to PP stall Fire Blast out. At this point though, Arcanine has 1 more Fire Blast left, and if it hits Snorlax, it's toasted. So I then spent the next 10 minutes or so doing some damage calcs for my Hitmonlee, seeing if it could take a Fire Blast and a takedown. The odds looked in my favor, so I swapped out to the Cobra Kai Master, and he took that Fire Blast like a champ. Johnny then goes for a Rock Slide, and it knocks Arcanine down to red. This is where I got super lucky. Had the AI gone for a takedown, I would have most likely been done, considering it was a 40 to 48% chance to KO from the HP Hitmonlee was at. However, the trusty AI went for Bite, and I was able to break Arcanine, scoring me the Volcano badge. After defeating Blaine, I made my way over to One Island and did those events of Celio. There was a specific grinding spot on One Island that I was after. In the process, I soloed all the bikers of Jinx, landing her up to level 47. I don't know if it's the best grinding spot to use, but I used it all the time as a kid playing through Fire Red and Leaf Green, and I had pretty good results. East of one island heading up towards Mount Ember, there's a trainer along the shoreline that carries a Shelder, Cloyster, and a Wartortle. This gave the team a pretty good chunk of experience, getting them all the way up to 48. After grinding, I did some more move prep before challenging Giovanni. I went to Fuchsia to get rid of Flash on Jinx for Calm Mind, and I got the Strength HM for Hitmonlee. Once prep was done, I headed over to Giovanni's gym, took out 2 trainers so I could access him faster, and then Jinx pretty much swept his entire team with ease, not taking any damage. We were now on the final stretch. However, a certain but was still in the way. And after what happened last time with this Charizard frying my dodo, I was nervous. Now, in terms of how I planned on grinding here, I could technically grind up my team to match the champion's ace level being level 63. I'm going with the champion's ace level, because if I have to use the same Pokemon multiple times, it will be gaining many levels, especially Jinx because she's a traded Pokemon, therefore getting more experience. I want to give myself at least some leeway. However, where I'm at now, But's ace is level 53, and if I got my team to level 63 now, it would have been overkill. So I decided to wait till after I defeated him. For now, I decided to head back to one island to grind up my team to level 51-ish. After grinding to level 51, I wanted to do a little more prep before challenging the rival. I taught Snorlax Surf in case things got dicey, and I also replaced Shockwave for Thunderbolt on Nidoking. Once I was done prepping, I headed towards Route 22. The rival opened up with Pidgeot, and I opened with Nidoking. I T-bolted it, and it went down after 2. Next, he sent out Alakazam, and that got me thinking. I could set up Calm Mind and go for a sweep. That's exactly what happened. Zinx, the Jinx, came in and pretty much cleaned house. I also got to +6, which I definitely think was overkill, but hey, you know what? I got the victory. I wanted to absolutely make sure I would survive a flamethrower, just in case. I wish I could have used that strat in the last battle. That would have more than likely saved DAL's life. Before heading into Victory Road, I wanted to do one last TM session for the team. I wanted to teach Ice Beam to Jinx and Nidoking. I grinded on 2 beauty trainers east of Fuchsia until I had enough money for 2 Ice Beams, and then I grinded money a little longer to ensure I had enough for at least 20 full restores. In that money grinding process, some levels were also gained. At this point, Hitmonlee was 55, Snorlax was 54, Nidoking was 56, and Jinx was 55. I also know there's been a Spearow in my party since DAL died, but I didn't feel like having to take it out of the PC every time I wanted to fly. Luckily though, nothing led to me having to use it in battle. With that, I went through badge inspection, then got through Victory Road with no issues at all. In preparation for the Elite Four, I also bought 25 full restores. From there, I grinded up the entire team to level 58 aside from Snorlax. In Victory Road, I had a very close call after almost being knocked out by a Revenge Machoke. I took proper precautions and decided to train back on one island instead on the Cloyster trainer. Everyone was level 58, and at that point, it was time for the biggest challenge of this hardcore Nuzlocke. Rather than me go over every play-by-play though, I decided just to show you the raw footage of this last part. So I hope you enjoy. Here we go. We are in the last stretch of the game. I decided to do a live commentary as I go through this last part. I definitely did some prep off screen. I did some damage calcs, some speed checks and whatnot from that Generation 3 trainer sheet that I got. I think I'm looking pretty good. But it all comes down, to what plays I make and what the AI really wants to do. So with that, I got everything I need. I got my full restores for after the battles, got my elixirs and stuff like that. I've equipped some of my Pokemon with some held items. You'll probably have a general idea if you see like what they are and whatnot. You have a Quick Claw just in case it's, in case I can get the first hit off. This is specifically for Agatha's Gengar because it outspeeds, but let's just see how things go. Oh, I forgot to turn on battle animations. That's okay. I'll turn them on next time. Alright, Dugong went down. What do you have now? Slowbro, okay. Swap out the Snorlax for the Shadow Ball. That guy crit was very, very, very unfortunate. Oh boy. I didn't account for that. That's the unfortunate part. Yeah, I'm about to swap out to Jay Lawrence. I can't wait for Snorlax to wake up. That. Yeah. Buddy, you're gonna have to wake up. You're gonna have to wake up, bud. I really, 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 really need you to wake up right now, man. Oh, dude. Come on. Oh, man, dude. That was so close. Man, I already feel my heart pumping. That was a very, 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 very close match. That was so intense. Jinx is really going to be the MVP of this match, and probably Agatha as well. After doing a little bit of research, the only mon that actually outsped Jinx on Agatha's team was her Gengar. Everything else on Bruno's and her team should be one-hit KO'd. And also, I realized that I forgot to deposit the Spearow into the PC. So yeah, I apologize for that. That was my mistake. But yeah, this is going by pretty smooth. Everything's kind of just getting one-hit KO'd. I have a feeling that that's honestly just going to be the case for both Agatha and him. Yeah, you should go down in one shot with the Psychic too. Yeah, okay, cool. And Hitmonlee, I also did some damage calcs on that too, using the trainer, the Generation 3 trainer sheet, and yeah, that goes down as well. Trust me, I did some damage calcs before I came in here. I wanted to make sure that I did my best to win this challenge. And I outspeed everything on this team besides her level 58 Gengar, which I believe has 150 something speed. You're gonna go down in one shot. Yeah, this is going by pretty smooth. All right, here we go. Here's the test. I'm almost positive. I'm just double checking. Good idea. The chest is very perfect. Oh, I actually did outspeed it. Huh, okay. I didn't think I would. All right, and Agatha went down very, very easily. That was not difficult at all. All right, on the Lance. Now, when I was prepping for Lance, Lance is definitely going to be the biggest hurdle of the Elite Four so far. The biggest thing with Lance is his Aerodactyl. That Aerodactyl scares me just because of how fast it is. There are a couple things that we can do. I could lead off with Jinx, and I could attempt to get off some Calm Minds. But then I would also have to ensure that I was able to survive at least one Ancient Power. And Gyarados does have Hyper Beam, which is a physical attack. Now, this is actually the plan that I came up with. I'm hoping that if I lead off with Barney the Nidoking, I can do a Thunderbolt on Gyarados. I don't know. I didn't do any damage calcs to see if it would OHKO. I'm not sure. It's quad effective. I would hope it would. But I have that option. My other option is to go Snorlax. But Snorlax also the Intimidate drop, which is a very, very big issue. So I was thinking, lead off with Nidoking. T-Bolt the Gyarados. Pray. He sends out Dragonair. Go for an Ice Beam. Knock him out until red range. Then I have an opportunity to switch out to Zinx. And then I can go for some Ice Beams and hopefully win this match. But rather than talk about it, let's try it out. So this is going to be probably the trickiest part of the entire run. Obviously next to the champion, aka Butt. But I mean, it's not stab. I don't know. Can we get it? We did. Okay, good. 1 down, 4 to go. You lead off with Aerodactyl already. You know what? This may actually not... Because I thought he was going to lead off with Dragonair next, but I guess Aerodactyl is his option. Out of all of these, it doesn't really matter if I hit him with a Surf, an Ice Beam, or a Thunderbolt. But I think my best bet is a Thunderbolt. Yeah, you're going to be able to outspeed me. Alright, you got the Poison Point. I don't think it's going to matter all that much. I know, yeah, it shouldn't one-hit KO. You're going to be able to take at least one. Unless I get a crit. Yeah, okay. You're going to go for a full restore now, aren't you? Yes, you are. Okay. Poison doesn't really matter. The thing is now is that Aerodactyl is gone. That was on it. Aerodactyl was the scariest Pokemon on his team. And now because he swapped out to it when I had Nidoking up front, this battle has honestly just become a lot easier. I say that now. Here's the thing. And this is the biggest thing right here. If he gets a crit on Hyper Beam and I send out Jinx, that's done. Hey, this is post-commentary Mystic. Even without a crit, that Hyper Beam would have taken out Zinx. Those defenses are extremely frail. Bottom line, if I switch out the Jinx here and I'm able to take a hit, I win. But I have no idea if he's going to go for a Hyper Beam, if he's going to go for an Outrage. I think my best bet here... Man, dude, this is definitely something, I'll tell you that. Because I could swap out to Hitmonlee. Try and get a Rock Slide off on it. I need Nidoking for blue. There's no doubt in my mind. If it came down to it and I had to sacrifice one of these Mons on the team, I would definitely sacrifice off Hitmonlee. I need Nidoking, I need Snorlax, and I need Jinx to be blue. Oh man, it really just depends. I'm actually going to go do some calcs real fast. Alright, folks. So the play I decided to do was to swap out the Jay Lawrence. Or Hitmonlee. According to the damage calcs, I have a chance. I can live a Hyper Beam with 97% as the max damage. Hopefully, the sacrifice doesn't have to be made, and... Oh, man, And it also has inner focus, so I can't flinch. Jay Lawrence is unfortunately going to have to go, because I'm going to need Nidoking for that next battle. Alright. Yep, he went for the Hyper Beam. As long as it doesn't crit, I can take one. Okay. Now because of that, I really need Rock Slide to hit here. Okay. Rock Slide hit. Did more than half. You have Citrus. Alright, I was able to hit the Rock Slide again. Wonderful. That critical hit was crucial. That critical hit was crucial, guys. Had I not got that critical hit, I think it would have barely lived on red. That crit just saved Johnny Lawrence's life. This man lives to see another day as Cobra Kai's dojo master. Alright, out to Jinx. I can take one Hyper Beam. As long as there's no critical hits, we're good. Okay. Hopefully, I'm pretty positive Ice Beam can KO. Good. Okay. One down. Oh, dude, that was crazy. I literally thought that Hitmonlee was going to be gone, but that critical hit Rock Slide saved me. But remember, folks, it ain't over yet. We got one more obstacle. A big butt is in the way of that Hall of Fame room. You know, he did that same exact thing against me when I battled him on Route 22. Alright, down goes Pidgeot. Alright, here's the part where things might get a little bit tricky. I could swap out the Snorlax, and I could attempt to take it out. But I do think that setting up the Calm Mind here is the proper strategy, because if I'm able to get the Calm Mind off, I can literally take out his entire team with ease. Future Sight, I'm not really too worried about that. I want to go for the Lovely Kiss, but I mean, it's like, that 75% accuracy, it's like, I could go for it, but I don't know. I can set up Calm Mind now, but then that also gives him the opportunity to set up Calm Minds as well. You know what? Yeah, let's go for the Lovely Kiss. Hopefully we hit. We got it. Okay, good. That's one. I'm not now. I don't know how many Calm Minds I have to set up in order for me to take one Flamethrower from Charizard. I'm gonna go for a +3. I probably only need +2, but one more. That's not going to do much to me. Unless he gets a special defense drop. He did not. Okay, good. Alright, Jinx is officially now at +3. Alright, good. Okay, done. Two more. Ah, we outsped. That's a wrap. He's done. Clean sweep on blue. He's out. Yep, that's it. Good game. Can the best team for Kanto win a hardcore Nuzlocke? The answer is yes. I guess you can say we beat his butt. Well, that was it. The best team for Kanto defeated the hardcore Nuzlocke, albeit we had some casualties along the way. Rest in peace to Bulbs the Ivysaur, and rest in peace to Dal the Dodrio. You guys helped pave the way to victory with your sacrifices. Anywho though, what'd you guys think? Do you guys want more hardcore Nuzlockes in the future? If so, which team would you like me to try next? A worse team would definitely be very challenging, but I'll leave that all to you guys in the comments section below. I also know that in this run, I did make a couple of mistakes. But as I progressed through the run, I noticed I started to improve a lot. So from here on out, in these hardcore Nuzlocks, the more that I do, the better I'm gonna get. Hey guys, thanks so much for watching my content. With Scarlet and Violet DLC on the way, we have a lot to be excited for. Not just that though, but I've got a bunch of other cool series planned throughout the year that I'm sure you guys will love. If you want to support my other forms of content, over on Mystic Reads, I read fanfics. One of them right now is Road to be a Pokemon Master Kanto Edition, where Ash and Serena start from the very beginning and journey through Kanto together. On Mystic Umbreon Shorts, I do other exclusive Pokemon content such as Pokemon Facts, and on Saturdays I upload my top 5 favorite Pokemon of a type. Anyways, thank you so much for watching, and I hope you have an excellent day.